Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm going to be ranking the best altcoins to get 10, 20, 50 or even 100x gains. And if you're new here, my name's Tyrell, and in the past few years I've made money online, e-commerce, dropshipping, all of that jazz, and used them profits to invest into the crypto market. And every day I show you how to do the exact same thing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, these are the tokens I've selected. I do have a lot more. Like if you go to my YouTube channel over here, you check out some of the last videos that I put out, you'll see that I always talk about different altcoins and different types of tokens to invest into. Now, the reason for that is from one of my favorite books, The Psychology of Money, which I recommend you guys all check out. It explains that a lot of venture capital funds lose money. A little tiny percentage of their portfolio do a 10 or 20x. So this is why we're looking for these types of tokens. 1% make a 20x return, but about 0.5% get about 50x or more. And this is out of 50 investments, right? I just went over it a little bit. I recommend all of you guys buy this book, go to PDFs or look on the PDF downloader. You can download it for free and educate yourself, because you need to have a diversified portfolio, right? It's clear these billion-dollar companies have 50 plus projects, and there's a reason for that. It's because most of them fail. Most of these projects will fail within 5 years. No doubt most of these ones won't exist in 5 years. But the question is which ones are going to do the highest gains and which ones can we profit off? So the first project that I've selected for 10 to 20x gains is Blockbank. Now, taking a look at Blockbank, which you can have a look at by going to coinmarketcap.com, typing into this place up top into the search bar, Blockbank, you'll be able to see the chart, and also you'll be able to find the websites and where to buy these tokens as well by clicking on markets. Now, if you have a look at the chart of Blockbank, right, it is way further than a 20x away from all-time high. In fact, a 10x on Blockbank would put it at 16 cents, which would put it about up to about here. And then a 20x would put it about all-time high. So I'm not sure if BBank will make it to all-time high. That's why I put it at 10x. They're doing a lot of great things right now. They're gaining a lot of users. And one thing that you will see, one trend that you'll see from a lot of these tokens is a lot of them are banking tokens. Especially with your Grayscale ETF coming out, there's a lot of bullish news. People are going to want to transact and trade their money, their fiat currency into crypto, and they're going to need to use systems like Blockbank. So Blockbank, decent token. I recommend you guys go check it out. The next one is Quan. Now, I feel like Quan is one of the best risk to rewards right now. If you go take a look at it again, we have a look at Quan. Just look at the RR on this chart, guys. Like, look at the RR. It's very good. It's one of those tokens which, if you look at it from 2022 onwards, right, coming on to the bear market, basically, it's held a lot of its volume. And with me, my risk to reward ratio comes on, am I going to lose all of the money? Like, is my risk everything on the table? And I like to keep it and maintain and invest into projects which I know are still building up hype, building up volume, building up their community, building up their technology, their use case. In fact, all of the due diligence questions that I actually posted on my last video is why I like this token Quant. Okay, if you look at the token price, it's not going to get you like a 10x, for example, but in my brain, I'm looking at this as like a guaranteed 2-3x on my money. Right now, it's at $100 at the moment. All-time high is up at about 370, and it hasn't even got started yet. I feel like Quant is one of those few projects which will surpass its old all-time high, in my opinion. So I just look at it like, okay, I can put 50 or 100 grand in this project and be comfortable with knowing that I'm going to get 2-3x in a bull market, if BTC starts going. Now, FTM, I'm putting FTM in the 20x range. Reason is because it's one of those projects where it's just volatile. A lot of people trade FTM on the open market. If you look at the markets that it's available on, it's available on high volume exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, Kraken, BITFLEX, right? A lot of these exchanges where there's a lot of traders on there. And a lot of traders have this token in their portfolio. Like, look at the volatility where it's got going on right now. It's up 5%, so it stays with Bitcoin. And if you look at the all-time chart over here and look at where it is from its all-time high, I mean, it's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet at all, right? One thing that you guys can do is if you go over to coin stats, right, go to the search bar, search a token, you know, coin stats, crypto profit calculator, search a token like FTM, for example. You can actually forecast your possible gains that you'll be able to get. So let's say at this price, we put in 10 grand and we look for a sell price at its all-time high. So we go to its all-time high. Its all-time high is about $3.30. So we go over here, we put $3.30. Okay, and you'll be able to see that it's about a 14x away from all-time high, right? The possible gains that you'll be able to make is 140 grand from a 10 grand investment, right? And I think that it's going to pass its last all-time high, right? I feel like it's going to pass its last all-time high and push further, because if we look at the history of it, it had one run, right? It had one, or well, you could call this 2 runs, right? But nothing much. A lot of times when the cycles start to get a lot more bullish, especially when we're looking at ETFs, we're looking at a lot more volume being in the crypto market. I feel like a lot of these higher market cap coins have the potential to surpass their old all-time highs. And usually in the top 10 on coin market cap, you'll see all of those volumes just go absolutely insane. So FTM is up there. Castor, I'm going to put Castor in 20 to 50x category. Guys, don't get on to me. Just hear me out. Hear me out for the next few seconds, right? Those of you guys that understand about Castor, it did have a tough time when they launched. I'm personally invested in Castor, support the project a lot. So yes, I do have a vested interest for it to go up. But you buying this token does not change my life, right? It doesn't change it, right? I don't get tens of thousands of views. I'm only helping a small community here. And I feel like Castor is one of those tokens where if you look, it's down 98%. 98%, right? I think it's even below its private sale price, close to its seed price right now. So these investors that you're so worried about dumping on you, you're getting in at the same price as them, right? Or very, very close, the same valuation that they got investing years before, taking way more risk than you are. And you get all of your tokens up front, where they have to sit and wait for their tokens. So at these prices, you're at a decent advantage, right? And again, if we go and have a look here, right, we look at Castor again and we say, okay, let's put in 10 grand, which would be quite hard to actually put in at once, but if you dollar cost averaged it at this price, and we look at its all-time high, which was $1, right? So we go here, we put $1, and you'll see it's a 60x, right? 6,000% away from all-time high, and that's 600 grand if it goes to all-time high from its current price. And if you look at the trend here, guys, right, we've got 2 banking apps on here already, right? We've got Castor and we've got Blockbank. What's the next one coming? XTP, right? Again, another banking app, right? Again, another banking app, because look at Binance. Binance has too much, you know, regulatory heat on them right now from left, right, and center. So people aren't going to just be using Binance. They're going to be trying to use all different apps. I remember last cycle, I was using a token called Swissborg, right? Swissborg was so big in the UK, everybody was using it. And that token got me personally a 20 to 50x return on my investment, right? On market. And that's why I feel like if I spread my portfolio, following the principles from Psychology and Money, most of these projects probably will fail. But if I catch a 50x, it's likely that it's going to be from some type of banking app. So spreading my bets over each one of these, you know, putting 10 grand in each of them, like think about it right now. If we put 10K in each of them, right? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? That's 20 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand in. But just one of these tokens, going back to all-time high, is 600 grand profit, right? So on your overall investment, on your overall portfolio, if you're in for 50K, you're leaving and one of these tokens hit 600K, you've got 10x on your whole portfolio. And that's the type of mindset that I've got when I'm building out this project. Now, XTP has had a little bit of volume recently. That's from a lot of influencers and a lot of PR partnerships that they're making, but they're also increasing their technology as well. And if we look at the short term right now, it had a huge pump, right, when the hype was coming in, but BTC didn't do much, right? It's just a bear market. And now you've seen people start to sell those tokens, right? The same people that were in here, or some people that even some reason brought the top, but they need their money, right, are starting to sell. And this is when you get in. You get in when something is undervalued for what it is, right? The technology that increased over here and convinced people to buy over here is the same technology that is now valued half of what it was before. And that's the way I look at it, right? The team's better. It's got more press, more PR, more volume, more holders, more people looking at the token, but the valuation is going down and everything is getting cheaper, which gives you a huge advantage to getting involved, right? So XTP, definitely on the list. Now, Moonbeam. Moonbeam is best risk to reward, right? Moonbeam, in my opinion, is one of the best risk to rewards. I've got a lot of friends that have asked me to help them with their crypto portfolio, managing their crypto as Bitcoin is still pumping, looking to get above that 200 EMA. Check out this video if you want to check it out, right? But I've got a lot of friends that ask me about Moonbeam, right? They say, Tyro, why are you always interested in Moonbeam? And if they say, what crypto should I be buying? I'm like, Polkadot, Moonbeam. That ecosystem right there, right, hasn't had its chance to shine. And everything is undervalued compared to how much money that they've actually got in the bank, providing that they actually do actually still have money left, which Moonbeam should have. But if we look at Moonbeam, right, otherwise known as Glimmer, again, up 4% due to BTC. I think everything's pumping right now. But again, the risk to reward, like you're talking a 10x to the next level up, a 20x to the next level up, right? So at this price, the risk to reward is absolutely insane, right? Let's do the maths, right? All-time high, $11. Price here, Moonbeam, 10 grand, all-time high from 20 cents to $11. You're talking 500 grand, right? 5,000%, right? 52x from its current price. Again, this is what makes this portfolio so valuable. And this is why having enough money to be able to buy these tokens is very valuable, right? And if you're struggling to make money, I actually created a Discord group where I show people not only about managing their portfolio, but also how to make more money online and invest the profits into crypto. If we look at the results here, people are making money. This kid made 500 quid, right? This kid made 1.6K, right? And this person closed 2 clients in a week. I'll show you how to do all of this completely for free to give you enough money to take advantage of the portfolio and to allow you to have enough exposure for this. I'm talking about a 50K portfolio. You might only have 5K, $500, whatever you have available. If you have it diversified, gives you a huge advantage to make these gains like Moonbeam. So Moonbeam, definitely on the list at these prices here, way oversold, way oversold. I think it's at all-time low right now. Absolutely no brainer to have inside of your portfolio. Moving on, we have HBAR. Now HBAR, I'll probably put it in the 10x. I'll put it in the 10x section. Reason being, if you do look at HBAR over here, it's got the community, it's got the technology, it's got the use case. The tokenomics are okay, but it's one of those projects where it just has an amazing community. People are vouching for HBAR, and that's why it's inside of my portfolio, because I want to have exposure to all of these kids that want to make YouTube videos about the token. It just makes sense. If everybody's chit-chatting about it, I may as well have a bit of exposure to it in my portfolio, because it will pump just like this, right? It will pump just like this if the scenario makes sense. If the scenario makes sense. All-time high for HBAR is about 42 cents, and right now we're about half a cent. Right, we're at 5 cents here, so not bad risk to reward. Almost a 10x to all-time high, and that for me just makes sense, right? That for me just makes sense as an investment, right? Next, we do have ASTRA protocol, right? ASTRA protocol. Hey, you guys, let me know in the comments, man. It's crazy how I'm just looking at the logo, but I can keep up to date with the name of the token, just by looking at the logo. And I did this a few days ago, so I'm just like working off the fly, but it's pretty good. Right, so ASTRA protocol, I'm involved in this one. I invested into these guys private sale. They're okay. I think I bought it on the OTC market. These guys are like a legal company, but as you can see, it's down 99%. 99%. And that's because it launched in February. All right, it's got nothing to do with anything else, right? It launched in February. We look at the Bitcoin chart, right? We go to February, January, February, March, April, May. So it'll be here, April, January, February, right? We look at February. February, what happened on February? Huge crash, right? It went from there to there, down about 20%. So now imagine you're this company launching in February. What do you reckon everybody's done, right? They needed the money, they wanted to buy the dip on Bitcoin, and they sold, right? Normal. That's just how this game works. But it leaves the opportunity for people like you guys that want to get involved, because ASTRA right now is at a huge discount. I think it's even below private sale price, down 99%. But the company itself obviously still has money, right? They raised money in a private sale, in a private round, and they've only just launched, so they've got no expenses. And what ASTRA is ASTRA's a legal company, and it helps you KYC for Web3. And what do all of these companies want to see? They want to see KYC, right? So this is amazing infrastructure projects to have exposure for in your portfolio, in my humble personal opinion, okay? Now, next token, we're talking about Polkadot. Polkadot's got 20x potential, 50x potential, 100x, 1000x, right? Polkadot, trillion-x potential, right? I'm a big Polkadot advocate. I like these guys. I don't know why. Sometimes, sometimes you just know. And I don't know, Polkadot for me, it gives me that feeling where I just know it's going to do well. It's a 10x, or just over a 10x away from all-time high at this position. Maybe like 12, 13x. It's a decent investment to have. They've rebranded, they've made changes, they've improved their marketing. They've definitely got a bit of technology there. And Polkadot have an amazing audience from their parachains, right? They've scrapped the parachains now, they've switched it up. And I feel like this should be one of those projects which will have its spotlight, similar to the way that Solana had its spotlight in the last cycle. I feel like Polkadot will have its time to shine, okay? Now, the next token we'll move on to, I want to talk about Gala Games, right? Obviously, we've got Chainlink and these guys, but I'll talk about Gala Games, right? Gala Games, is it in the PooCoin bag? Is it in the 10x bag? Is it in the 20x bag? It's in the 20x bag, guys, because Gala Games is one of those projects which just makes sense to have, right? It just makes sense to have in a portfolio. I'm going to run a crypto tracker on Gala Games for you guys, right, to explain why I'm so bullish on it. Because a lot of people ask me, like, Tyro, why, like, they try to ask me to pitch them on it. They're like, Tyro, why should I invest, right? I don't care. I'm showing you guys what I'm buying, right? You buy it if you want to. It's completely up to you. It doesn't change anything for me, right? Because if you look at the volume, first of all, look at the markets. Where is it available? It's available on Binance, Kraken, KuCoin, right? BITFLEX. It's on all of these platforms with huge, amazing volume, right? $9 million of volume done in the last 24 hours on Binance alone, right? On one stage of Binance. Never mind its other trading pairs, okay? If we look at its price right now, its all-time high is up at 74 cents, and right now it's at 2 cents. So if we look at actually investing into Gala, right, and do some scenarios, if it went back to all-time high, again, another 10 grand at this price, all-time high, what do we say, 74 cents, right? Yeah, about 74, put out 71 cents. So 342 grand, right? 34x away from all-time high. And if you look at the all-time high where it was at, did it have a game? Not really. It had Farmville or whatever it was. Right? It didn't have the cool games that it's got now. Right? Did it have Spotify? Right? Now it's got Spotify. You can listen to music, you can get paid. Did it have films? No. Right? So the technology over here is a lot better than when it was at all-time high, which makes me think, if they do it and it was at this price before and it's actually got a real ecosystem, could it surpass all-time high? Possibly, right? So that's what puts it in the 20x, 30x, 50x, right? It puts it in that range where you just know it's going to do well. Now, the next token I've selected, I think, is Aptos, right? I think it's Aptos. I've been on a roll so far. Let's see if I remember this logo. Aptos, yes. I think they changed it for their Twitter because it does look a little bit different. Let's have a look. Twitter, Aptos. I think the color's a little bit different. I got all of these from the Twitter a few days ago. Yep, Aptos, right? So Aptos is one of those ones, right? It's a layer 1, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, a layer 1 or a layer 2. But Aptos themselves, if you look at the date when it launched, again, it's one of those ones. It just launched at a bad time. It launched in November 2022, and it still had its rally leading into March during a time when the market was genuinely down. And that just leads me to think that it's gonna have its time, right? Again, look at BTC, right? Take it slow, guys. Look at BTC. Look at 2022. Okay, we'll zoom out. 2023, 2022. Okay, look at Aptos price. So 2023 December was when it pumped, right? We go to December 2023 December. It had a slight pump, and then since then, huge dump. So we look at Aptos, what's happened, slight pump, and then since then, huge dump, right? So you get my gist with these types of tokens. Aptos hasn't had its time yet. The likelihood is that it's going to surpass its all-time high, which is fairly reasonable considering the time that it launched. And that's why for me personally, Aptos is in that 10x back, right? I do have 2 of them there. Aptos is in those 10x backs. For the rest of the tokens, I don't want to go into too much detail. I know I might bore you guys, but Chainlink, I'm going to put at the 10x towards the 20x lines. Neo, guys, I'm looking at a 20x for Neo. Personally, I think it could get more. It's got that Chinese narrative. I spoke about it in this video. Make sure that you guys check it. The top gaming tokens. In fact, I didn't speak about Neo. Neo's not a gaming token, but I spoke about it in one of these ones. This one, I think, is Altcoins, right? About Neo. If you don't know about Neo and the Chinese narrative, you need to know Chinese crypto tokens is a narrative for you to be aware of. And Neo's been around since 2017. So every single time you have that narrative, you see Neo has sharp pumps in short periods of time, which is just a no-brainer to be invested into. And right now, it's back at the beginning. Right? You didn't even have these prices during the whole of 2019 to 2021. But right now, we're getting very close to the same exact prices. Like, last time we was here was in April 2020. Obviously, if you're not worrying about the last few months, but last time before the pump was 2020, 2019, and now we're back at those price ranges now. So risk to reward for Neo right now. In fact, I'm actually going to move it up here. It's a very, very good risk to reward. Plutus, I'm putting Plutus in my S coin bag. Reason is, it's another app, right? They flopped last time. They really did flop on me. I invested into Plutus. I made a lot of money. Then I pulled out. Then I went back in because it was supposed to be developing. But if you look at Plutus on a long-term timescale, they've had a lot of volume and they've maintained a pretty decent price, all things considering, and also considering it is a poo coin. And most of the time, poo coins are down 90% odd. Yeah, these guys have maintained a pretty decent price, and they're still above the price that they were when I was last invested in 2020. So, hey, Plutus, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are in my S coin back. This one is Podfast. You guys might not know about Podfast, but I'll put Podfast in my 2020 bag because I've been, as you guys have seen from the content that I've been producing at the moment, I produce a lot of content at the moment, and having a company like this, I understand the value of it, just by being somebody that uses this myself. Podfast allows you to clip up podcasts and make them into more digestible information. And if you look at the price of Podfast again, only released in April. Right about now, the market cap, fully diluted market cap is only 6 million, so that's tiny. And it's one of those ones that just has a lot of room for growth. If it really works, if it gets things going, when it releases its technology, it will align with our due diligence, team, technology, use case, tokenomics, etc. And that will align with the performance of the token, in my humble opinion, okay? The next one being Nakamoto Games. Nakamoto Games, again, in my S-Coin bag. It's performing better than its private sale price. Another token we got in at. It's still above its private sale price, which I think was about 20 cents. But again, it started to get a little bit of volume in there. They've continued to develop. They started building the games, and that's what makes it a good gaming token, right? RSR, 20x bag. Sand, I want to put 50x, man. I'll put 20x bag. And let's have a look at Sand, man, because it's been a while since I've done some TA on Sand. For it being the last token, those of you guys that followed me for a while, I hit a lick on Sand. Where's its all-time high at? Its all-time high is about $7.50. Current price is less, it's 33 cents. 33 cents to $7.50. I don't want to do the maths and get it wrong. $7.50 is about a 21x. So yeah, I feel like it had its hype. Do I think it will go back to all-time high? No. I'll put it at 10x. I don't know if they'll be able to catch this new wave. This is a new wave that we're going into. It's a new market. It's going to be so many different coins that launch. Sand might not be able to catch that traction, seeing as they didn't manage to take advantage of it before, and they probably did spend all their money. So that is everything. You guys now have a tier list for the best crypto projects. Do yourself a favor, save this video, follow the steps like CoinMarketCap. You can actually save them to your watch list. In fact, I'll show you guys how to do that now. Go on to CoinMarketCap, just click this little icon here. You can save it to your watch list. That way, if you get any price movements, you'll be able to get the drop as fast as possible. And allow yourself to create a diversified portfolio where you're exposed to different projects, and you just need to think, just one of these needs to do a 50x. One of these needs to get to $1 billion company. Right, just one, as long as your portfolio is balanced enough, and you'll have an overall profit on your initial investment, right, depending on obviously how many you invest into and what amounts, right? But you guys get the gist. Get involved before it's too late, because you've seen today BTC move 5% in one candle. That's just the beginning, baby. When the market really does get bullish, it will go faster than you ever think, and you will miss the boat. You'll be one of these guys that go a whole cycle and don't make any money from it. They actually lose money. Don't be that guy. Get involved, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be releasing tons of heat, and thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Peace.